Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Strange Horticulture, where we still have this card. It seems to me, hold on a second, put the book away. How do I book? Probably the big X. Probably the big X would be a good way to do that. We still have this card, right? We've gone to the Abbey, which I thought was where the card was sending us, and we've gotten something out of going to the Abbey. So my feeling is that that's probably not what the card is for then, because if it was, then the card would have disappeared, right? Like the last ones? I don't know. Maybe more will be revealed in time. Maybe it was a coincidence that the Abbey was worth something. Anyway. We now have an awful lot of plants with an awful lot of tags. And I guess for the moment, let's just take customers until the next thing to do reveals itself. Sorry, kitty. We spooked Hellebore with the bell there, I think. I am afraid. The camphor you gave me is helping me sleep, and I'm very grateful for it. But the visions are as strong as ever. The woman in the jade mask appears in my dreams every night. She screams at me, but I do not know why. And behind her, that presence is always there, dark and dreadful. I don't know what to do. The dreams feel like a warning that I don't understand, a mosaic of color that refuses to come into focus. Some part of me wants to stare down that abyss, but I'm afraid. Aguiro or Candlewood? So we're making like narrative decisions here, right? Aguiro will help her figure out what it is, strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. While I'm assuming the Candlewood probably takes it in the other direction, right? Yeah, protects against afflictions of the mind. I mean, I know that in the sort of source material, the kinds of things that these stories, the kinds of stories that these vibes are based in, it is often held that knowledge is unsafe in some way, right? Ex ignorantia ad sapientum, ex luce ad tenebris, right? I just have a very hard time squaring myself with that personally. I feel like ignorance doesn't actually help you be safer. It just helps you not realize how much danger you're in. And the idea is that understanding how much danger you're in is itself enough to do harm to you. But my point is I want to give her the Aguiro. And that's probably the direction I'm going to want to go a lot. Unfortunately, we don't actually know either of these plants. Light blue flowers like rounded tufts of gentle lamb's wool. All of the plants that we have that are like rounded tufts and are any kind of blue, we've already tagged. So do we think we have Candlewood? I have to keep looking at things. Okay, so I do think we have some Candlewood. We can give her something. When burned, incense made from the woody stem can enhance psychic abilities, strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. I gotta tell you. Woody stem, because it could be a thing that hasn't flowered yet. It could be a thing where we don't have it in its flowering state. But we really don't have much with what I would describe as a woody stem. Yeah. And it doesn't look like this is even going to flower. So there's some possibility that I am supposed to have by now worked out where to find some Aguiro and I just haven't done it. Totally could be. We think this is clavilium. Well, when you look at this up close, the flowers are, yeah. They're not actually like a tuft. It's just a lot of very little flowers all together. I don't think we have anything that is even worth trying as Aguiro. We've been to the stone circle already, right? That's Shimmerlong, and we know it's Shimmerlong. We've been to the stone circle, the daughters, already. It wasn't super useful. Yeah, I don't know. So what I had thought before, the reason that I went to Calder Abbey off of this is if the torn bit here represents the coast, then the X is about even with the point where the coast stops moving northward, which as far as we can tell is like there, right? Obviously it's off of our map. What else could this be? Because it's entirely possible that this is the way to get this plant. I just can't... Maybe there's a place where the tear matches up with the coast or a river more precisely? Oh, actually, yeah, wow, it matches up very precisely here. Yeah, remarkably. Okay, so this square. There it is. The gentle sound of flowing water, the sunlight through scattered clouds. A reset. And also, a plant that absolutely could be the one we're after. And sure enough, the card evaporates. I do believe this is the Aguiro you're looking for, madam. Worryless. Inhaling the smell of the flowers is set... Hold on. Let me tag the Aguiro. I actually think I know exactly which plant Worryless is, and for kind of a silly reason. This here is Aguiro. So I don't have an easy way set up to show this to you, but when you play this game on Steam, it gives you Steam trading cards, and the Steam trading cards are of the plants. And I'm reasonably sure I got a Worryless trading card. And I think it's a plant with little yellow flowers. So the book entry we got does not show flowers, right? It just shows the leaf. What is the name of this game again? Right, S. S Stranges for... Sorry, it's little white flowers with a yellow bit in the middle. This, according to the Steam trading cards, this is the Worryless plant. Inhaling the smell of the flowers is said to help ease symptoms of anxiety. And those are the leaves that were shown, and they really don't look... I guess these two leaves kind of look like the interior two leaves were shown here. And you can see like this budding structure with the things growing off of them. But I'm pretty sure from the Steam trading card that this is our Worryless. We'll go ahead and mark it red because it hasn't been explicitly confirmed by the game, but... the other plant we just got was this, right? A rather unpleasant scent. I don't know if that is a, if that's a thing that I feel like we've got any information on. It doesn't seem familiar to me. We don't come to an Undermere often, but I heard about your shop and I said to Francis we simply must pay a visit. It's a wonderful breath of a life in an otherwise dreary town. I'm the green-fingered one, and it's not really his cup of tea, but I persuaded him the trip would do him good, And besides, he'll be wanting to take a boat out on the lake. Shame about this awful weather, though. You must come to Sizerg. We have a small library with some books on plants that my grandfather acquired many years ago. I'm sure they will be of interest to a horticulturist such as yourself. Okay, cordially invited to Sizerg Castle. Well, I guess we ought to go then, yeah? I'm sure that's just on the map. What around here looks like a castle? That's a castle, but it's not the castle. There are actually quite a number of castles in the area. Is Sizerg not on my map? Oh no, it's right there. Never mind. It's actually very nearby. I'm greeted enthusiastically by Lady Elspeth herself. She is very talkative and has many questions on horticulture that I do my best to answer, as she takes me on a tour of the gardens. Oh, you must take a sample of this back with you, she exclaims, pointing out a plant that I do not recognize. But before I can stop to take a look, she's already whisked me on to the next. And this one too, she says. I'm quite exhausted by the time we make it to the library, and I don't have the time to make as thorough a study as I would like. Nevertheless, I am able to find an interesting entry that I note down. And don't forget these, Lady Elspeth cries as I make to leave. She thrusts the plants from the gardens into my hands, and I thank her warmly. She really didn't want me to leave without that. Okay, Fever Kiss. Red berries provide an energy boost that lasts several hours. Leaves are pale in color. And also some curious plants. So, Fever Kiss. Red berries, pale leaves may or may not have flowering structures. We think that's Storian. This is yellow berries. Probably, right? I would describe this as pale leaves with red berries. This is the one I was looking for. I was like, we saw one that fits that description, and then I totally lost it. Mr. Shaw. Mushroom. Red spores. Moves in the dark. That's all I've got. Any ideas? Well, I think you're talking about that creeper. What was it called again? Wandering Bew. And I think we had tagged... In fact, we are certain. Okay. I guess we'll just cut you a bit of that and you'll be off into the night. I'm going to try to calm the cat down slightly before I ring the bell again. They're saying Blackcomb is haunted now. Bradley Miller told me he saw the ghost of a huge deer, antlers and all. But then Bradley Miller also says he can talk to squirrels. Either way, there's something evil in them hills, and I'm not taking any chances. Awful what happened to that poor young man up at Swinside. I've come for some stinking mount cap. Well, who among us can say they've never done that? Oh, stinking mount cap. Oh, right, it's sometimes called sunset mount cap. I knew that. It's this one, yeah? You can just look at that and tell that it smells bad. Alright, no big surprises there. The time that we've already put in is paying off well. Henchuck. The fruit of the henchuck can have startling effects on memory. Even a small dose can result in short-term memory loss, but in larger amounts it has been known to cause severe amnesia. The tuberous bulb has an unusual structure, growing in bursts that give it a striped appearance when cut open. When the outer layer hardens and turns blue-green, it is ready to harvest. Tuberous bulb. Has a striped appearance when cut open, but since we have no way of doing that, that's not super useful to us. When the outer layer hardens and turns blue-green, it is ready to harvest. So like blue-green bulbs probably is what we're looking at. Which is to say, I do not think... yeah, maybe we don't have any. Let's go ahead and end the day. We'll get our having gone to sleep card. She lives alone in the castle to the northwest of the abbey. She buried her husband 3 miles to the east, where the Everheart grows. At 15, her mother, strong, dependable, loving, was struck down by typhoid. The girl drew inward as her father turned to drink. These are 2 separate stories. Okay, so the castle to the northwest of the abbey, 3 miles east is some Everheart. Castle to the northwest of the abbey. Okay, so here's an abbey with a castle to its northwest. 1, 2, 3. A dead tree, its bark cracked and blackened by fire, stands alone on the hillside. Off to one side, a patch of flowers grows on a low mound. Okay, and we believe this plant is Everheart. Do I have a book entry for Everheart? I'm gonna admit I don't recognize the name, but also I'm playing these far enough apart that, you know, my brain is... my natural memory problems are definitely potentially a problem. I think the card said it was called Everheart. It's to be something like that. It sure looks like heart-ish, heart-like. Thank you, description text. Pink flowers, useful. What have you done to me? I see the woman in the jade mask everywhere, and that creature that stands over her shoulder. I almost feel like I can sense its desires. It is afraid of the sisterhood, that much is clear. It will lay waste to them. So much death, but it can be avoided with Arduino's protection. I do not know if I am awake or asleep even now. I can feel the darkness tearing at my mind. Well, I have some great news for you, actually. It's like in Metal Gear Solid when they tell you to look at the back of the box for that codec code. Hopheart. Inhaling smoke from burning the dried leaves of this plant can provide pain relief. Firm leaves grow up the stems, leading to blue flowers. A lot of blue flowers. Let's go ahead and confirm the worry list. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't... I know that we have seen now a way that the leaves fit the illustration. I do not think that I would have paired this one easily without having been told by the trading card. So, kind of ups and downs, I suppose. Sorry, kitty. I met a strange man on the road to Sedberg not 2 days ago. Stranger still, he asked after you. He said he had something for you. Don't ask me what. So I told him where to find you, but he looked stricken when I mentioned Undermere. Said he doesn't come near towns at all if he can help it. He was headed west. At least, I think he was. Said he was looking for the Winter Spring. I'll write this down for you. Anyway, that's my news. Did you manage to find the plant I wanted? I believe that I did, yes. Where'd I put that trouse? Okay. Headed west from Sedberg, probably near to the source of the river Winster. West from Sedberg. I feel like I've seen Sedberg before, right? We definitely... This is not the first time I've said that name. Okay. West from Sedberg, possibly near to the source of the river Winster. Well, I guess here. That's quite a bit west. The hermit's camp is easy to find, nestled between two boulders above the spring. The cooled remains of a fire ringed by stones is the only immediate sign that anyone was here. I call out, but there is no reply. The hermit is not here. A more thorough search of the campsite yields something interesting. Tucked off to one side, I discover some broken pieces of wood arranged on the floor, suggesting that we go south twice and east 3 times, perhaps, maybe. Well, why don't we just go ahead and do that then? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The camp at the Winster Spring has led me to another camp of sorts where I am greeted by an eccentric man. Oh, yes, yes. Oh. The man says, "You must take this. Take it, take it." At his insistence, I receive the looking glass that he thrusts into my hands. He places an envelope delicately on top. Oh, it's no use to me anymore. Oh, no use, no use. Don't forget the red. The red, the red, the red. Oh, Ebony. I am sure that he is quite mad. So another looking glass with a... some kind of gauge and also a vial? It is said that the red ebony plant has the property of uncovering that which is hidden or secret. Secret. Plant was misspelled too, but I thought this was maybe just old-timiness. I have perfected a device designed to use extract from the plant in concert with a viewing window in order to permit the user to see magics otherwise invisible to the naked eye. The red ebony. Is that... I mean, we're good with this. Is that a thing? That's not a name I think we've heard before. But it could be one of these situations where it's the nickname of something that I've already forgotten the real name of. Blue aloe or blue winter. There's not that much, it's not that many pages in the book, right? We can just fling through this real fast. Most things don't have a second name. I am sort of wondering if we also could just like jam every red plant into this thing and see if it will actually gain some charge from one of them. Fox button, yeah, it doesn't look like very many of these have second names. It's quite uncommon, in fact. Well, we do have some red plants where we could just try it, right? Like, I don't know what this is. That wasn't the right plant. Okay, let me, not red ebony. We could even try one more. If I have another reddish plant that doesn't have a tag on it. I actually don't, though. Yeah, it's probably the case that we just haven't found any of this ebony. It's fine, we will. I am not long for this world, and I have decided that I want to be buried in a grave decorated with the rare and beautiful Kabalia, like a Drare huntsman with their dranthium-covered tombs. Kabalia. Oh, this is the 6 petals plant. Yeah, we totally marked something as Kabalia. Does it seem like some of the plants are moving sometimes? Where was the Kabalia? It's Clovilium. These are all obviously wrong. Okay. I thought this was Kabalia. Correctly, in fact. Eyebright. Take care not to touch its brightly colored thorns. They'll do no lasting damage, but they contain a small amount of venom that will cause a severe pain for several days after. A plant that only grows to the south in warmer climates, where they call it loath after a long-dead king. Known to improve eyesight at night in even the darkest places. Okay, so that's like a really useful plant. We just have to figure out which one it is. I have some thorny plant that I thought might be something else for a while. Where was that? And there's that one that's like, oh yeah, after handling this, your hands hurt. Which could totally be this thing as well. Not seeing a lot of stems with thorns on them at all, though. Alright, that one just smells pleasant. Maybe the one that makes your hands hurt wasn't actually explicitly thorned. Trying to reduce overcrowding here. Although I suppose now that we have such a large number of yellow tags, a thing that might be useful is to rearrange these with yellow tags all on either the top or bottom. I don't know that I feel like we have it yet. Oh, hey. Your reputation is growing, horticulturist. I hear you are the person to come to for plants that are difficult to acquire. My head feels like it is being torn in two lately. I'm looking for some Hopheart. Hopheart. So no big deal, just a lady in a jade mask. Nobody make a big deal about this. Nobody do anything startling. Okay, this is something that we just got very recently. Firm leaves, blue flowers. These are pretty purple, but you could argue that it's... I mean, this says blue, even though those are pretty purple. And if you were to take this flower in cross-section, honestly, this might be right. That's not a bad look. These leaves are like visibly droopy. Dark blue has a particular scent. It's not clear what the deal is with the leaves on that one. And all the other ones with blue flowers have tags on them already. Okay. Copper Caledonian. This plant has a rejuvenation effect, but most who have tried to benefit from its properties have come to realize that it is a curse, not a blessing. Though you may appear younger, you will quickly become more frail and brittle. The red patches that are often seen growing on it are, in fact, a type of fungus themselves, and not a part of the plant. Okay, so rejuvenation properties, red patches, and it kind of looks like a mushroom. Also, this is for sure a very difficult word to spell. Yeah. Okay. I think most of my mushrooms are over here. Red warts growing on it. I mean, so this has red patches. I don't know that I would describe something as having red patches if it has like raised red areas. I see red patches and I think like more like a bruise, right? But I don't know. Maybe. Totally could be. Yeah, I mean, like, this looks like they're raised. I'm gonna give this a yellow tag, or a red tag. I think it's pretty likely we found it. Reuben Ward has called on my unique expertise to aid in his investigation at the Swinside Stone Circle. Unique expertise. Ha! He knows how to flatter an old woman when he wants something. I accented that line really weirdly. Apologies. I thought about telling him to suck an egg. Give it a good long thought, actually, but my curiosity has got the better of me. He must be desperate if he's coming to me, and I'll bet they found something juicy down there. Signs of ritual sacrifice, maybe. I could do with some witch fig to take with me. Always comes in useful. Okay, so I'm reasonably sure we did not have witch fig identified. Similar leaves to the fever kiss plant, which we are already, or which it is often confused with. Okay, so that's a fever kiss. Probably. Do we... I mean, this kinda... Not really. This kinda, sorta... I mean, I would expect it. It's either got berries or bulbs or something. Oh. Well, these are fairly similar, right? Yeah, I would say so. We don't get enough of a zoom in on the berry structure to see if this looks right. If they like hang in bunches. Let's try it. It is a plant that has leaves suspiciously similar to another plant, and it's the plant that we think is the fever kiss, so. Okay, cool, great. Jacobsworth. People tend to be drawn to the unusual flowers of the Jacobsworth, but it is the leaves that have the most interesting properties. It is said they will point the way toward any person you wish to locate, and have been used successfully to find many a lost wanderer out on the fells. That's very weird. How do they know that? So... do I think we have any of that? And Chuck, we could do... These leaves do look familiar to me. That's definitely St. John's poppy. The leaves are not quite right, but they're in the neighborhood for sure. The leaves seem to have a mind of their own. It's the leaves that point the way? Yeah. Alright, I feel pretty confident. This plant seems like it's approximately worth 1 Jacob. I never see anybody in your shop. It's a daily surprise to me that you're still in business. Believe me, I wouldn't be in here if I didn't have to be, especially with that damn cat still here. You be nice to Hellebore. I need some bishop's parasol for a work-related matter. Alright, well, I have a plant that I think is bishop's parasol. Work-related. Just consumes light, huh? I wonder what that work-related matter could be. So first of all, let's go ahead and mark that yellow. Secondly, we just picked up something. Here we go. Sometimes called Everheart. Aha! The pink flowers of the royal gentian are made up of 2 large kidney-shaped petals. Okay, so this is enough information to identify that thing without question. I'm gonna go ahead and change that tag to yellow. This is like really hard confirmation in my opinion. But we're gonna change what the tag says. Okay. Feeling pretty confident about that. I am also feeling like... Apologies if this episode is slightly shorter than usual. I'm a little bit pressed for time, though, and I don't think I want to start a new day 36 minutes into the episode. You know, let's get our sleep card, at the very least. Just see what happens if we dare to dream. The old man of Coniston looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current, floating gently southwards to the fork. Not long after, the girl left home. Her father wept, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and did not look for her. It's going to be a sad story. Alright, I think it's pretty clear what they want us to do with this card, and that can be the way that we start day 6 next time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. I feel like this today was very productive in terms of making customers happy. Somewhat less interesting in terms of personal adventure, though. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're just going to keep on keeping on and hope that a little bit more eldritch mystery falls in our lap. And we'll see you then.